Steve, starting with you, the series is grim, it's sweet, it's funny, it's bloody. Is there a trick to pulling that off and balancing it together in this series?
I think there is. I mean, I'm a big fan of genre blending, and so we've basically created a darkly comedic mystery horror show. And I think we try and stay conscious in the writers' room just what is the balance of those elements. We don't let it get too silly unless it's dark silly. We don't let it get too serious unless we're coming off something really happy. Beth talks a lot about, in the writers' room, we had bittersweet as our sort of go-to word that we were always aiming for with the show. What is it? Nothing's allowed to be.
Yeah, I can't be too sweet without having a little bitter, and I can't be too bitter without having a little bit of sweet. So we play on that balance with everything.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, Beth, in terms of building this out, what is Neil Gaiman like as an executive producer on this, bringing this vision to life?
Well, he's honestly been our biggest cheerleader. We're so lucky he's an executive producer on the show, and he's so supportive, and he allows Steve and I to be as crazy as we want, and he encourages that. And so it's been, obviously these are very important characters for him, and so we just feel very lucky that he trusts us with them.
What did the stars bring to this storytelling, and did once you have the stars in place affect the storytelling?
Each one of them is the kind of keeper of their little character. So George brings a world of things to Edwin. Charles is hugely informed by Jayden's work. I would say the biggest transformation is between Yuyu and Niko. Yeah. Yuyu as an actress is just like the most normal person in the world. And then the minute you say action, she just physically becomes Niko in an amazing way. And of course, I think the character was really, Crystal was really informed by Kassius. So I would say each of the young actors kind of brought their personality. And because we filmed the pilot and then did the writer's room for season 1, sort of in a more traditional network kind of a way, we had the pilot, we had their performances. I had worked with all of the actors at that point. So we could allow their performances to inform the characters moving forward.
Also, our guest cast as well, they just elevated what we had, and also the chemistry between the 4 core, that is something that they also bring, and it gives us ideas and things to write for, and having scenes with them separately and different pairs.
They're sort of ridiculously talented.
They really are.
It feels like a boon. We talk about it in the writer's room a lot.
The chemistry is unbelievable. It's amazing. This is a tough question, but aside from Death, who shows up in episode 1, is there some connection you can talk about between the Sandman and your series?
Yeah, I mean, look, initially we were on a different network, and so our studio had a very gentle but firm chat with us and said, please do not step on any toes, and don't venture into any of that IP. And so because the Dead Boys live in that world, really and truly, I mean, they started in Seasons of Mist, the Sandman comic, we decided, okay, rather than just run away from it, we're going to build a show that could take place within the Sandman universe by just being very careful to operate around the Sandman IP. So then when we moved to Netflix, and Netflix was like, hey, what would be fun if you put some Easter eggs and some guest characters, and we were like, oh, yes.
We'll do that.
And then we did that. So, in retrospect, we made a really good choice, and we're very smart.
And there's another character that plays out and
pops up later.
Pops up later, yeah.
Fantastic. The last thing I'll just ask quickly, Beth, is there any hint that the opposite may happen? We may end up seeing something the other way around, or I guess nothing you can say. Maybe.
Oh, we hope. We hope so. The boys would love it. We would love it. I mean, it would be so great.
Thank you both so much for the time. The series is so much fun. It's great.
Oh, good.
Thank you so much.